Welcome back to End Zone. Of course, we've got New Hope and Choctaw County highlights, because where else would we be on this fine Friday night? And then we head out to West Point and Starkville. That rivalry is renewed, and there are some bragging rights on the line. And one of the teams walked with plenty of them. Then Columbus and South Haven. We've got the hometown team right down the road, and plenty more coming up on End Zone.
WCBI Sports End Zone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by Ford County, and Clark Beverage Group.
Welcome back. So good to see all of your beautiful faces watching End Zone. The second time tonight. We've got plenty of scores and a lot of more updated games and more highlights coming your way, of course, because plenty of stuff went final. Avery, we talked about our biggest winner in the first one. Now that we kind of have everything set put, what's another game that you'd like to highlight before we really dive into all the action?
Before we dive in, I mean, we're obviously going to highlight the game of the week. We're going to highlight West Point. You know, I think that the massive blowout with Saltillo and Lafayette, that could be interesting to highlight. Maybe we'll take a longer sneak peek at that.
And we've got a little bit more games. We've got Shannon, we've got Louisville, we've got Amory, and we've got Caledonia. You know, we've got a great show ahead. So let's dive into our game of the week. Our Avery Cameron was there, and she will tell you more about New Hope and Choctaw County.
The WCBI End Zone Game of the Week, presented by Carl Hogan Toyota.
All right, of course, we got to start with the car of the week. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if we call it that, but I'm calling it that. 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross. It was so smooth, so awesome. Interior was great. But that got me to New Hope versus Choctaw County. We're going to start in the second quarter. A little short handoff to running back Jacob Jefferson, punching in his first touchdown for the night for the Trojans early in the second quarter. It was massive after a few turnovers there. Lots of little cheerleaders out there. It was so awesome to see them. Choctaw County didn't leave that first touchdown unanswered, though. Another short handoff for Chargers Jeremiah Miller, pushing through a massive block to get the first touchdown on the board for them, which we learned that they will actually have a lot of those coming up. And then, so we're going to hand off to New Hope, Jacob Jefferson again. He's going to run this in for his second touchdown of the night. Time for some yardage for him. Breaking some tackles, and he just walks right on in there. Swag surfing.
Swag and surf.
Yep, exactly
swag
that.
and surf.
Another New Hope touchdown right as the third quarter was headed to the end. A major punt return. Quarterback Tyrekus Brooks breaking tackles. Final score there, 35-24 Choctaw County.
And we'll head over to West Point and Starkville. Another big game this week. And starting right away, we've got the Green Wave right in the end zone. They jump out to a 7-3 lead with Colt Whitaker's 1-yard touchdown. The Yellow Jackets looking for an answer. Not really one you'd want to get on defense. They allow a second touchdown to their own field goal. So Green Wave jump out to a 14-3 lead. Brett Morgan looking on. He's a happy man with that score. And he's going to be even happier when his running back gets back in the end zone. We've got 3 touchdowns, and we're midway through the second quarter. They're dictating the physicality and the tone in this one. Yellow Jackets looking to respond now. Kingston Johnson finds Laterrant Agnew on the out route. He breaks a few tackles. He dives in the end zone. Starkville scores a much-needed touchdown as they now only down 21-9. But the Green Wave, they just keep it rolling. Back on offense, run up the gut. He finds the daylight, and he's going to go all the way in for the 4th Green Wave touchdown of the first half. They're just gashing that defense with their run game. We'll move to the final seconds of the first half here. Green Wave back to the air, and the fade route is good. He mosses the receiver there. The volcano just erupting all over that Yellow Jacket defense as they go into halftime up 34-9. And the final in this one, kind of one of our shockers of the night. West Point getting a massive win, 48-15.
Love it.
And looking at some more scores, of course, Tupelo getting the road victory in Nashville, Tennessee against Christ Presbyterian Academy. This game actually called at halftime due to weather, but The Tupelo the Tupelo Golden Wave getting their golden victory in the Music State. They win that one 23-7. They move to 2-0. Ty Harden's team off to a great start this year. Oxford getting the road victory at South Panola. Lane Kiffin very happy his son is now 2-0. They get that win 29-13. And moving to Columbus and South Haven, our hometown team right down the street. We'll start with the Falcons on offense. DeCarrion Henderson is going to throw to Darius Swanigan. He's going to run after catch. He's going up the sideline. You drop the baby. You can't drop the baby. It's the first rule of football is you cannot drop the football. And he did right into the hands of South Haven. And he's going to dive in for the scoop and the score. The Falcons not off to a great start there. They lead it then. In South Haven, Jacoby Scruins is going to hand off to Jarian Young. He's going to get the first down. Some tough running there. And Columbus defense is going to hold Jarian Young for another short running game, but it's really not going to matter much. Columbus still struggling in this one. They're fighting through it. And the final in this one, we would have Columbus getting the shutout against them. South Haven winning 28-0.
And as we head over to Saltillo and Lafayette, Tigers hosting the Commodores here. Saltillo, quarterback drops back to pass, and he is flush out of the pocket and takes out of bounds for a sack. Now this cheer squad's trying to cheer their team on. Saltillo of offense, and Lafayette defense would get a sack there. Big sack there. And then, again, some slow-mo video here just to, really zoom in on that. Just kind of slow it down for us tonight. And that's what we're going to look at right here. Some slow-mo. Not much is going on, but it's a big game right here.
Saltillo gets the win, and they win this one big, 42-14.
There we go.
Over Lafayette. Now we'll move to Shannon and Louisville. A huge crowd here, late second quarter, tied at 6-6. Brendan Hooks gets a couple of yards, but several plays later, Shannon again hooks up the middle, and this time it's good. He scores the touchdown, make it 12-6, Shannon lead. The Red Raiders go for two. It is stopped though, so we will remain 12-6. Wildcats going to be back on offense here. The away team, Zane Jernigan, going to bust up the middle, get another first down. He converts on 4th and 1. Louisville now in a 3rd and long situation. They sneak it up, and they will get the first down. They will head into the locker room. Shannon will head in the locker room, winning 12-6. But Louisville would walk away happy as they have a huge second half, and they win this one 29-18.
All right, and heading over to...
And we've got Itawamba and Corinth, Amory and Caledonia, and Nanawoya and East Webster coming up. Stick with us. We've got plenty more highlights and scores coming up on EndZone. Stick around.
And the Indians will host Corinth the Warriors. It's senior night in Fulton. ICC, well, Corinth on offense already with the first drive. Quarterback is flush out of the pocket. He is hit, and he's going to fumble the ball into the hands of Itawamba. Another scoop and score moment there. Not really a score, a scoop though. We're ready to cheer him on, and then a few plays later, the Itawamba quarterback, Ashton Hoots, is going to hand off. He takes it in for the touchdown. That's Xavier Waters. Final score of Itawamba would be 38-21.
And looking at some scores here, New Albany and Senatobia. Senatobia getting that close victory over New Albany. Get the 10-point win to 42-32. We will next head out to Amory in Caledonia. Amory Panthers hosting Caledonia in their brand new stadium. Look at that turf. Isn't it just beautiful? Home team on offense here. Trayson Krupp is going to pass to Jabin Etzel. He scrambles down the sideline. Will he be caught? And he is in bounds, but he gets a nice gang. And then we'll take it. Krupp is going to take the direct snap here. He's going to jog it in for the touchdown. Panthers on the board first. They lead it 6-0 on that one. They go for two, and on the pitch, the running back is just short, so Cavaliers stop him, and the 2-point conversion is no good. Cavaliers now on offense. Now Kadarius Shakin is going to take the pitch. He's going to pick up the nice gain. Keeps the chains moving. Later, Caledonia on 3rd down. Cole Garner with the carry. He comes up short, and the Cavaliers are going to have to punt. But looking at the final in this one, Caledonia going to get the road victory at Amory. The final in this one, 40-36. And looking at some more scores, of course, Pontotoc getting the win over Houston, like I said, at the 10 p.m. Baylor Dampier, the new coach of Pontotoc, in his second game going against his old team that he coached the last 5 seasons. And he would walk away a very happy man. And I'm sure that was I hope it was a warm welcome there, but he walks away and he beats his old team pretty handily, 37-6. Water Valley in South Pontotoc. We're on our little Pontotoc run here. We'll have 3 in a row of the North one next. Pontotoc 1-0, but now 1-1. If you look at the town as a whole, Water Valley getting the 6-point win over South Pontotoc, 29-23. Of course, bring on the North Pontotoc score. Of course, 46-0 over. I don't know why that says New Hope, but it should be Nettleton. Excuse me. But North Pontotoc beats Nettleton 46-0. And
moving into Kemper County versus Noxubee. We're going to head over there where the Wildcats face the Tigers. Opening kickoff on the game. And the Wildcats had a trick up their sleeve. Jaquavius Brandon returns the kick and brings it all the way down the field for a touchdown.
He's gone. Look at that. Oh, man.
All the way down. The Wildcats, though, were unsuccessful in getting this extra point right here. We're going to see a block.
Look at the stance by the holder there.
Oh, man.
Never seen that before.
Just hate that for the kicker. That's just terrible. Anyways, the Tigers made sure to answer back with a scoring drive of their own. Jakeem Goodwin passes the ball off to Landon, takes it all the way to the end zone here, kisses the crowd again, like we said in the 10. It was an energetic game, and the final for that one, do we have a final yet, Carlo? Yep, we do.
Yes, we do.
36-12, Noxubee County.
Tigers moved to 2-0. What a job Teddy Young's done. 3 straight state championship appearances, and they're looking to make it
just a cannon.
4 in a row there. And they'll move to another powerhouse, but in 1A, we've got Calhoun City and MD Jennings winning against Aberdeen 48-12. What a victory there, and they're off to a 2-0 start, averaging 6 points a game. They'll average under 10 for their defense, opponents scoring per game, so they're off to a great start there. And another great start is Grenada. They beat Winona by 20, 34-14. They're proven to be one of the best teams there in 6A. Belmont getting a victory over Walnut. A nice victory there, 40-12 for Belmont. What a win to advance there. And we will now move to Nanawoya in East Webster. That man, James Courtney there, leading the Warriors here. We'll start Nanawoya down 14. Cade Massey back to pass. He throws downfield. He'd be picked off by Dakari Kofi. Kofi returned all the way to the end zone for a pick 6. That was a long pick 6. He ran the entire length of the field there, but a flag would be thrown. Illegal block in the back. So the touchdown wouldn't count, but the pick would. East Webster's turn on offense now. Cooper Stidham is going to find Lecarius McCurry on the screenplay, and he's got a lot of room, and I mean a lot of room, and he's almost got the end zone, but not quite. He's down at the 5-yard line. Later on, we'll move Kendrick Potts. He's going to get the ball inside, and he's going to get back into the end zone for the 5-yard score. They would hold a 20-0 lead there, and East Webster goes into Nanawoya's home field and really just gives them the beat down there. 43-0 final. And, of course, we've got more scores coming at you. Knox Pater and Hamilton, Heritage Academy and Wayne Academy, some MAIS, and we've got some Starkville Academy and Winston Academy. Stick with us. Why would you leave? We're coming back up on EndZone.
And headed over to Knox Pater. Tigers hosting quarterback Justin Verner. He's going to drop back, find a pass, and that is just butter right there. Finds wide open Isaiah Nichols down the field, 30-plus yards inside the Tiger 40. Later on, Verner again on the option keeper, and he's actually going to be stuffed in the backfield by Jacavius Riddle. Lions drive stalls. Knox Pater's turn now. Riddle gets the ball, goes around the right side, and he's got a big gain here for the first down. Cheering him on. Let's go. Later on, Logan Sanborn rolls to his right, finds Cameron Lewis, and Nichols makes a great tackle for the Lions. Tigers would punt. Hamilton led 8-0, after the first quarter, but eventually the final would be 39-38. Hamilton getting the win there.
And Hamilton would go for it on 4th down to win the game, and they would get it. What a victory for the Tigers there. Looking at Mantachi, talking about what a victory I mean, you guys can read the score
That's
for
some
yourself.
bad boy Booth defense right there.
Absolutely. Hey, that's 2 weeks in a row. Shout out Bad Boy Booth, Mantasci's defensive coordinator, putting in the extra hours and the time, waking up early, going to bed late with that 40-0 win. His defense off to a hot start in 2025. They win that one 40-0. And we've got more. Eupora, our core Nathan Orr, in fact, was our number one play this week, and it seems that he had more of those number one type of plays because they put up 43, and Eupora, they moved to 2-0 with a 43-6 win over French Camp. French Camp drops to 0-2. And then Moorville heading up to the Tupelo area for our friends up there. Moorville getting the victory over East Union. Battle of that one, they win by 21, 35-14, clean touchdown game there. North Point Christian over TCPS. This one very close. North Point Christian getting the road victory at TCPS, 32-27. West Lowndes, Leake County, some Thursday action. West Lowndes getting the road victory at Leake County. They move to 2-0 in the season. The Panthers off to a great start. Just 8 minutes down the road from our station, they win that one by 10. Smithville and Hatley, the battle of our producer Kaylee. Her parents, her dad went to Hatley, her mom went to Smithville, and it seems that her dad is going to be going to sleep very happy tonight. What a victory, what a divided household they have there, but I'm sure everyone's okay tonight, but they get the 20-point win. Hatley wins 34-14. And Bruce over Vardaman. Vardaman now 0-2 after having that magnificent regular season last year. They're going through some growing pains, but you know, the sweet potatoes, they will be back, and hopefully their next result is a little bit sweeter. They lose this one to Bruce. Bruce wins 42-7. And looking at the Blue Devils in Baldwin, the Skunk Bowl. Ew, I can smell that one. Well, I guess that Baldwin Bearcats can also smell the victory in this one as they beat their rivals 35-14 in a touchdown clean game. It would be anything but clean for Boonville as they drop to 0-2. The Baldwin Bearcats off to a hot start after they're defending their state championship down in 1A. Okolona, speaking of 1A, getting the victory 55-27 over Faulkner. What a victory and a high-scoring affair there. We talked about overs 10, more overs now because that's a lot of points. I mean, that would be a great game to go to just to watch if you like, you know, offensive football. And of course, if you're talking about offensive football, you got to talk about the Myrtle Hawks here. 37 against Potts Camp 8 there. What a Thursday game, and way to sit back and just watch your opponents play. That's what the Myrtle Hawks are doing as they celebrate that win. We will head to Heritage Academy and Wayne Academy. Of course, we'll start in the third quarter now. Wayne Academy, 13 is going to throw the screen pass here. He's going to get just a few yards. The Heritage Academy defense going to get the stop there. Heritage Academy back on offense. And this one is the screen game. That one also goes nowhere. Heritage Academy really can't, I mean, either team really can't get anything going here. Heritage Academy is going to hand off to the running back. Maybe the pass game will work, maybe the running game will work. That one doesn't work very well, but you know what does work is scoring 42 points as Heritage Academy beats Wayne Academy with a final score. Look at that one, folks. 42-19, of course. And what a win for Heritage Academy. We've got plenty more scores and more coming up, as we've still got plenty, you know, Starkville Academy, Winston Academy, Kemper Academy, Hebron Christian, and plenty more scores coming up after the break. Welcome back to EndZone. Starkville Academy taking on Winston Academy. Starkville versus Louisville Academy's going at it here on a Friday night. Starkville Academy, Sam Wall, going to hand off to Brandon Berkeley. He's going to get tackled for a loss there. Beer Boatner with the tackle. Winston Academy, Jason McMillan's going to scramble out here, going to get stopped on third down. Winston Academy tries to punt, but the bad snap doesn't work, and we've got a free-for-all, and that happens to be on fourth down, so we got a turnover on downs there. Starkville Academy now is going to do the play action, going to throw it deep, and I mean touchdown. What a throw. Oh, my goodness gracious. That is a top 5 play as I'm writing down on my sheet. We have a victory for the Starkville Academy, and they win it 33-7 over Winston. And looking at some more scores, some Christian scores here. 26-25, Unity Christian over Victory Christian. What a 1-point win there. Very close game there. Nail biter for all you Catholics. And then, of course, we've got Columbus and Christian and Tuscaloosa Christian. This one, if you're talking about the over here, we've got plenty of scoring in this one. 80 points in total. Columbus Christian getting the road victory in Tuscaloosa over the state line. They win that one by 40, 60-20 final.
Moving over to Kemper Academy right up the road. The Kemper Academy Rams hosting Hebron Christian starting in the second quarter. First play here, quarterback Blake Hutcherson in the pocket, scrambles away from the defense and is looking to pass, but unfortunately it's dropped.
That's brutal.
Next snap, Hutcherson fakes out the defense and goes for another pass, this time connecting to Wyatt Williams, who shrugs off the tackle and goes all the way home there. The Rams now looking for a 2-point conversion, and they have Chamber Copeland with the carry, bringing it in. Kemper Academy leads 38-0 going into the half. The Rams walk away with a final score of 54-0 against the Eagles there.
Damn, a donut there for Hebron Christian. That's tough, but Wynota Christian over Clinton Christian there. Another donut as we see here. Wynota Christian getting the massive victory against Clinton Christian, 42-0. And we head to our Alabama schools now. Tuscaloosa Academy, a powerhouse there over the state line, get a 7-point victory against Aliceville on the road. They win 20-13. And Lamar County, Greene County, we got another one on the road, but our area team, Lamar County, Vernon gets the victory. They win it 39-14 over Greene County. What a road victory for them to start off or to continue off the season. Look at this score, guys. They're talking about 80 points. You know, there's one way to do it with 60-20, and there's another way to do it with the Chris Chambliss way, 72-8. They win that final. Pickens County over Summerton Christian. This one was actually a forfeit. The 1-0 is not a score in football, but nonetheless, Pickens County moves with another W in the win column. They get the forfeit victory there. Solgen over Isabella. They win that one by 9. Solgen 30, Isabella 21. And some more scores. We got South Lamar over Hubertville over South Lamar. Excuse me, I was reading that wrong. 64-33. We got 90-something points in this one. 97. There we go. Some maths working for me there in my head. 64-33 final, and that is your scores and stuff from week 2 of EndZone. So before we wrap up our show, Avery, I want to talk about what did you see as our Fastnet speed play of the night?
Fastnet speed play of the night. I think we're going to have to go to that top 5 play that you circled too.
I would agree. That Starkville Academy last highlight with the play action throw, or the play action play, and that was the throw. We'll get to the very end of these highlights here, but that was just a great play of the day, and definitely our Fastnet speed play of the day.
For sure.
Starkville Academy, you know, they've been on a tear the last few years, so they kept it going tonight with that win over Winston. You know, 2 teams are right just kind of in our area, but that would be our Fastnet speed play of the night. That play action deep ball, I mean, perfect throw, perfect catch, and there's a reason they would win that one 33-7.
The Fastnet Speed Play, brought to you by Fastnet, powered by 4 County. Fast, affordable internet service from the people you know.
And that is all we have for EndZone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
WCBI Sports EndZone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by 4 County, and Clark Beverage Group.